Jesus. Shut up.
So that's why they're not here.
I'm not gonna give up.
So that's why they're not here, because they both
Avenge me.
they both died cycling this weekend. That's why they're not here.
Calvin definitely died cycling. Jordan probably took a nap.
Appreciate y'all tuning in to show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. We got the squad in the building. Yeah. Hey, we are short a couple of people apparently due to a tragic cycling incident.
Bro, I love you, Calvin. I really do.
Apparently,
you're my boy, Blue.
Apparently we down
boy,
Calvin and JC. There was a cycling accident this weekend that included 2 clowns and a unicycle. Is that what we heard?
They said my man's fly glasses went this way. His shoes went this way. And a bike flipped over.
Hey, pettiest man alive in the building, Mr. P Kid, as always. The super producer Joel holding down the ones and twos.
He's telling us this now, like
This
just
man
before we go live.
Bro, right?
He got the
Right
Sonic
before we
coins
go
knocked out.
live, bro. Oh my God, man, we got a lot to get to on today's show. Depth chart projections, got to check that out. Athletic with an interesting article on the 53 man. The Bulls are rejecting Alex Caruso deals.
I can't believe that.
We got to slap somebody. And the NBA finals are done. Maybe not.
No, they're not
You
done.
think it's not on?
I'm going back to last one. We ain't slapping nobody over there who owns stadium. They did the right thing.
Now, best and worst of the weekend, all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, what's going on? How y'all feeling today, man?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's always a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A lot to get into on today's show. That's tough that he almost died on a bike this weekend, bro. That's a tough weekend.
Hey, that's my best and worst.
Is it best or worst?
That's my best and worst.
That's best and worst.
Hey,
That's and my worst.
Because he still actually did well. The story's not over. I didn't finish the story. He did well. This man is a trooper, but I now know how to press his buttons. All we have to do is laugh and point at him.
Hey, yo. But hey, let's jump into the show, man. 53-man roster, possibly finalized. I mean, like, not really, but I'm going to be real with you. The funniest part about predicting the 53-man roster is when you go to training camp, when you see these guys, you just start looking around, dog. You're just going, there's a lot of dudes here that's not going to make this team. And that's an interesting feeling to have based on where we've been as Bears fans. We've gone into how many training camps in a row looking at real positional battles.
Yeah.
Like now we're just looking at a couple of guys to see where they're going to end up. Are they going to make the team? The Athletic put out a very interesting article on the 53-man roster, and they basically go through, and Kevin Fishbane and Adam Johns predict kind of where they see this 53-man roster going. And I don't have a lot of questions on it, maybe a little bit at the wide receiver position. But outside of that, I think that it's more of, do we like what we're seeing on this team? Do we need to see more? Do we need to see changes? So we'll go through that. And let's jump into it right here. I mean, listen, quarterback's easy. We can breeze through this one. Caleb Williams, Tyson Bagent. Done.
Yep.
Done. There's no Brett Rippon. Brett Rippon probably practice squad. I think he's third string. I forget who the other dude, Austin. No, not Austin. Something Reed.
Austin Reed.
No. I'm saying it's a quarterback.
Austin Reed.
Was Austin Reed?
He's right there.
String? Oh, okay. Oh, Austin Booker. I got my guys. Austin.
We just pull it back up there for you.
Appreciate you there, Joe. Appreciate you there, Joe. I was getting Austin Booker and Austin Reed mixed up there. Yeah, I mean, you got him in their fourth string. I see him pretty much probably not making this team, but it's some good reps for him to get in. Glad he was able to come to training camp. Running back is interesting because you're talking about keeping 5 running backs on this team.
Ooh,
DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson, Travis Homer. They're also including Kari Blasingame in the running back position. He's a fullback.
I think he's out of there.
No, they're going to keep the fullback.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay.
They use him. They use him as far as they use him as an extra blocker. They use him. Yeah.
There's value of him. I just didn't realize. There's just so much.
I thought
there's so much talent like between all these receivers and these tight ends. Is like I didn't think they had room for a fullback, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I think Kari ends up making this team. I'm not surprised to see that at all. Wide receiver to me is kind of my first question here. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Romo Dunze, Tyler Scott, Velus Jones, Dante Pettis making the team. Now, that one surprised me only because we haven't seen a lot when we're out at practice. We haven't seen a lot of Dante Pettis. But you're still talking about your sixth wide receiver here. But we haven't seen a lot of Dante Pettis out there. He's been on the sidelines a lot, hasn't been doing a lot of taking part in a lot of the drills and different things like that during OTAs and stuff like that. So that one to me is kind of shocked, but I'm not worried about our sixth wide receiver.
I'm sorry. This just JV 60606. Call me crazy, but I'm confident. Caleb Williams will make this. I couldn't stop but chuckle when I saw that.
JV. Yeah. I think we got that one.
Call me crazy.
I think we got that one. I don't know though. There's a chance.
Hey man, listen.
Might I interest you in
Tyson Bajan.
Tyson Bajan. We know a couple people that's glazing Bajan out here.
Hey, listen. He has a whole following. He's doing well.
Yeah. All right.
That's all you had to contribute to that. All right.
Hey, listen, what am I supposed to say? I'm not going to criticize him. I'm going to show love at all times.
Tight end position right now. They've got 3 tight ends making the roster. I love this as well. Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, Mercedes Lewis. I knew Mercedes is going to be there. Like I said, he's more the vocal leader on the team. Yeah. Comes out as a phenomenal blocker. This is the 2 sections that probably get interesting here, though. 9 offensive linemen, 8 defensive linemen. 9 offensive linemen that make the team: Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Ryan Bates, Nate Davis, Darnell Wright, Coleman Shelton, Kieran Amagaji, Matt Pryor, and Jatir Carter on the offensive line. This is probably where I would look else at other positions on the field and say, I know you want the depth. I know that you want guys, but you could put Jatir Carter on the practice squad and get by. I don't need to see him make the team. I could see him be on the because nobody's going to pick him up.
I mean, listen, health is still a big thing when it comes to that.
You can always elevate him.
That's true.
He's on the practice squad. I'm not saying get rid of him. I think he's a player that you keep around. He was a draft pick that you had last season. But Cribs is stupid. No one surprised P Kid likes Bajan. There's a real stigma going around about you and Caucasian quarterbacks, bro. I'm not.
Isn't Caleb mixed? No, he's not mixed.
no, just black.
He's not
just black.
Just black. Listen, I was like, hey, salute my brother. Happy you made it.
To me, honestly, the real questions are offensive line, defensive line.
Yeah,
like seeing this. Now you're hearing about Nate Davis may not be the right guard because they're talking about Ryan Bates possibly being. Matter of fact, I got this depth chart off. This is from ESPN as it stands.
Yeah.
But based off the article,
half the time they wrong.
They're talking about Ryan Bates possibly being the right guard and Shelton being the center.
Well, I think that's a situation based on the conversation that we've been having, right? That's why the offensive line is interested, because if Nate Davis doesn't practice at training camp. Here's the thing that I have to see. I'm not gonna lie. I said this with I believe this was with Dion the other day. Either Dion or J-Mac, one or the other. But here's the thing that I have to see. You got to stand up for your culture. And if Nate Davis is freaking Roberto Garza out there and he's not practicing, go ahead. I don't need to see you on the field. I don't need to see you practicing. It's fine.
Dang.
But
come on, Levante.
If I believe 99.999% Caleb Williams is starting. I would bet Joel's gaining a hairline on it. Hey, listen. That's a $10,000 bet.
I will go to Canada.
Hey, that's a $10,000 bet.
I will go to Canada.
You know, sheep
get my wig back.
I told you.
Everybody's going to Turkey. You might as well go there.
Well, no, I go to Canada.
No, Canada, you can just drive to. You ain't got to pay for a flight.
Yeah, but it's cheaper in Turkey.
I think it's about the same price, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still 10
everybody in my
Canada about 10 grand.
Hey, Turkey is the premier
but you're
cosmetic thing. I'm just not going there. You go there.
Let this hairline start going the wrong direction. I see you in 2 months, eh?
Damn, are you gonna do the?
I see you in 2 months. See you in 2 months, eh? But no, I think that I need to see Matt Eberflus stand up for his culture, like the hits principle, everything that goes into it. I need to see you say, if you're not practicing, you're not the starting right guard. And I understand. I understand that a lot of this is from it's from the people above him, right?
Yeah,
a lot of the coaching hires that were made this offseason are Ryan Poles coaching hires. A lot of the situations that have been put in place, they're insulating Matt Eberflus, kind of like how they're doing Caleb Williams, to where it's going to be really tough for you to F this up because we're putting you in a great position to not F this up.
Just put it in drive.
But I
hit
need
the gas. Don't even F it up.
But at a certain point, you do have to stand up for the culture that you're trying to set.
Also, we have 100 in the chat, by the way.
Oh, 100 in the chat.
Where's Ringo at?
I think this is also going to be something where, you know, Ryan Poles actually steps in. He did it with Claypool. I think it happens with this. Eventually, that gets
you're talking money.
Eventually.
This is money. I mean, what does he owe? Like
10 mil.
10 mil. That's
10 mil,
a lot
guaranteed.
of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
where it's like
you got to get the
dog,
okay.
Please, will you just please practice?
Yeah, you got to get the okay. But listen, we're not at training camp yet, so I'm not as worried about it yet. If we get to training camp and it's still a problem, I got a problem with it. I do. And I'd have a problem because here's the thing. I love the beard, love the fade. I need to see you be a head coach. A head coach is going to tell a dude that's not practicing every single week unless it's legitimately I'm dying and I can only be out there on Sunday.
He missed OTA? I mean, mandatory.
He ain't practiced. He was there.
He was there.
He's there for everything, but he's on the sideline. Which means you're not getting the reps that you need to get with your young quarterback, which means you're not getting the reps that you need to get with the second year right tackle who you stood next to all last year, but didn't practice next to.
Is there any rhyme or reason as to why, though? I know we've talked about it, but we kind of danced around it. Is there any legitimate reason why he's there, which is what he's supposed to be, but he's not practicing? Is there any concern? What is that? I know you're there, you're boots on the ground.
I mean, it's a very different NFL, right?
Okay.
So if you come in and you say, I got something I'm dealing with today, they're gonna say go to the trainer's table. That's really what it is. If you come in and you say, I got some leg tightness, they're coming into the trainer. You're going to the trainer's table.
I'm just making sure.
So like that to me, now I haven't seen not like last year, nothing like last year.
Okay.
I think as far as we know, this is all just something precautionary. That's all Matt Eberflus has told us.
Well, you're still waiting on Kieran Magaji as well. So like,
but even that's all precautionary because technically he's been medically cleared. He said this his first week.
Yeah,
he's been medically cleared. The team is holding him out.
Is it possible the team's also doing that with Nate Davis?
It could be. I don't know. That's why I said I'm not overly concerned until we get to training camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
you're right.
When I see the writing on the wall of certain things that have happened from a previous coach, when that coach was literally like, nah, we don't want you here because you don't practice.
Hey,
that's where
Samurai J, by the way.
You got a super.
What do you say? Pat, have you seen the movie
up.
Whiplash? It reminded me of your last Patreon video. And also, if you're doing a home project, would that make you Project Pat the home designer? That was cheesy. I have seen the movie. That was mad cheesy, but it made me chuckle.
That was good.
I have seen the movie Whiplash. I love the movie Whiplash. Actually, it's a phenomenal movie.
What movie is? I don't remember.
It's a drummer's movie. And it's
I did see Whiplash.
Where what's J. Jonah Jameson, the real dude?
Oh, that's that name of that movie. Yeah. Adam Driver in it? No, some kid he's like berating the guy as he's learning how to be a better drummer.
As he's learning how to become a good drummer.
I got you.
It's a phenomenal movie.
That's not Kevin Spacey, right?
No, it's I can't think of his
J.K.
name.
Rawlings or
J something Rawlings, yeah.
Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, something like that. Y'all know who it is.
Yeah.
All I know is he's freaking he's J. Jonah Jameson, and now we can never see it. Yeah,
you're right.
He threw a symbol at that mug head.
Samurai, bro, he had another super chat. He's saying also, I know I'm late, but back to the money.
Back to the money.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, that's what it is. J.K. Simmons.
That's what I said. J.K. Simmons.
You're right.
But
we have to put a face to it.
But no, I think realistically with Nate Davis, like the question to me is just if he's not out there, is Flus gonna step up? That's the only question I have left. Because I don't have a question that there's a question on Nate Davis practicing. We got the answer to that. Okay. That's a question.
Excuse me.
We know that already. We know that there's some disconnect with him practicing and being on the field and stuff like that. My biggest question is this the moment where Matt Eberflus has a head coach moment and says that's unacceptable?
How old is Nate Davis?
30? I believe 30.
Yeah, if he's on the second kind, I look
potentially one of those situations where it's like, let's wait till the real practice. Let's get the
No,
pass
for
going.
sure.
And then for what his position is, I've also been told that it's like hard to practice for that without the pads because you're like essentially potentially practicing bad.
27.
technique.
27 for
Jesus,
Nate
he's younger
He's
than I
young.
thought. All right, so, hey, you know me say 33. You with 30? I'm proud of you.
I knew he was young. I was like, we didn't.
Put him at
Just,
30 though.
That's
Cause
that's
Flus-
Pat's favorite thing. Was it
You
33?
gotta put him at 30.
No, because what's his name didn't sign nobody over 29. Remember that whole offseason? We was like, yo, he signed some young dudes. Like he signed everybody 26 and 27 and stuff like that. So I thought he came in 29. But at the end of the day, I'm not freaking out now, but it is something that I'm keeping an eye on as far as the depth chart. And I wonder if we do get to a point in the season where there's a possible move made there where you see somebody end up moving up into that position. Maybe a Tevin Jenkins switches sides and you put Karan on that side.
I want to see the center position. I need to understand who is the center.
Well, that's what makes it tough. That's what makes it even tougher.
But I also want between Karan and then the center position to me of like how this line starts right now on paper by August and September and what it's going to end up at the end of the season. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Like we have our entrenched right tackle with Darnell Wright. We clearly we're stuck with Braxton Jones as our left tackle. We know technically Tevin Jenkins is great when he's there and he's healthy and he plays. And if let's say he plays, we definitely got 3 guys. So we still need a center and one of these guards. Now, our dream is to put Tevin Jenkins on the right side, and does that mean that Karan becomes our future left guard? There's somebody here. Nate Davis I don't think he's the answer, especially if we just drafted Karan Amagechi. So now it's just the center. So I'm just, what is it going to look like by the end of the season? Because I don't think it's going to be this line at the beginning of the season.
And we won't even get a chance to really see what that looks like for another 6 or so weeks, right?
Yeah, no, you won't be able to see that until training camp starts up. So yeah, you got about 6 weeks there. We get a week early though, week earlier this year because of that Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
Not mad at that at all. Looking at the defensive line, Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, DeMarcus Walker. What?
We frozen?
Who's frozen? No, you're
Are
good.
Okay.
No, we moved.
We're good. We're
You're
good.
good.
All right.
You're
We're
good.
not moving here.
I don't know.
We're moving here though.
You never know. Yeah.
No, I see it just fine here.
You hit like the tap. I'm like, what? Huh? What?
I mean, I'm just making sure.
No, defensive line. I do.
It is frozen over there.
That's weird. Defensive line, Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, DeMarcus Walker, Austin Booker, Jacob Martin, Dominique Robinson, Zach Pickens. Now, this one to me, I could see some changes coming in during training camp. I could see some names added to this team during training camp that changed this up drastically. Dominique Robinson does not make my team. He just doesn't. I'm sorry. Like we're 3 years into this now. He's got 2 sacks that we can commit to memory.
Is this also accounting for any potential signings that we may have?
No. So this is a projected roster based on who's on the team right now. You got 90
And
dudes.
this is
at camp
the
and stuff like
ESPN depth chart versus the athletics conversation. So
Yeah. Okay.
but I think the defense is pretty much this is set.
This is set.
Outside of DeMarcus Walker, and does Austin Booker take a significant jump in training camp?
Unless they sign an edge, which again, that's
Or
a different
trade
conversation.
like do they sign Yannick? I think they mentioned that too. Do they sign Yannick? Or do we make that?
I saw someone mention
trade.
Emmanuel Agba, which wasn't a bad idea.
I think
I mean,
that's on the
Emmanuel
same-
Agba is basically all this. Like Calais Campbell's off the board.
He
You
went
got
to
Yannick
Miami?
Ngakoue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calais Campbell went to Miami.
I mean,
You
what,
got
he had
Yannick
5 sacks
Ngakoue.
last year.
Who?
Emmanuel Agba. Maybe it was the year before. Yeah, but it was not bad.
5 sacks last year, I
He's
think.
in the
sacks.
same kind of. Well, Yannick had,
But
more,
at that
they're in the
point,
same class.
I'm not gonna lie, and I said this a couple of times, right? When you get to the point where you're signing Emmanuel Agba, aren't you just living with
Grasping
DeMarcus
for
Walker?
straws. Yeah, you're pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like if Emmanuel Agba's on the board, I'm set with DeMarcus Walker. I appreciate you playing the work version of our game, but we're gonna keep this thing moving
I don't
along.
know, man. Someone like him who actually did well in that defense is the way we've built this kind of reminiscent of that. The sacks that he put up, I think he put up more sacks than Yannick did. Yannick put up 3 last season. We paid him
Yannick definitely underperformed.
They both did
last
3
year.
sacks. He had 3.5 last year. 3.5 with us last year. He had 7 sacks in Tennessee.
Emmanuel Agba got 5.
Yeah. Well, then again, this might be a better situation this year with, I would think that with all of the turmoil going on with the coaching staff, I would think that now with Montez Sweat being here full time, 100%, there might be a little bit of difference of, Montez getting some double teams, if not we also need to see the ascension of Javon Dexter. Like if
Yeah.
he's
There's room for
actually a
growth.
disruptor, does that now make DeMarcus give him on an island by himself? Because the other guy has to maybe command double teams. You got two guys. If Javon does what he's supposed to do, and Montez is doing what he's supposed to do, they might command double teams, which should free up DeMarcus Walker.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think that's interesting. Dom Rob don't make this team for me though. He just don't.
Hey, he didn't say Jacob Martin. He said Don Rob. He said Don Rob.
Jacob Martin, I might see something from. Don Rob doesn't make this team as a defensive lineman for me, I should say. Now, what may save him, and he'll be on the team as a D lineman, of course, but what may save him is the new kickoff rule. Because he is an athlete. He is fast, and he do hit. So with that new kickoff rule, if I'm sitting there and we kicking off and I need somebody that can open up a hole, I'm going to go put a defensive lineman out there. I think Austin Booker can play that part as well. To me, that's the only reason that he would make this team at all.
Shout out to Crimson. I agree with you, buddy.
But I don't see Dominique Robinson making this team outside of that, in my opinion. Then you go to linebackers. 5 linebackers make the team. Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, Jack Sanborn, Noah Sewell, Eamon Agbangbimig. I don't remember how to say his name.
Yeah,
Agbangbimiga. There you go.
You know why I never feel bad about how you say his name? I asked Flus. Flus said O.
Amen.
He said we call him O.
There you go.
I said
Call him
okay.
O.
Yeah, I mean, all right. What you want me to say? I do want to see. I was very intrigued by Noah Sewell last season. I want to see a little bit more from him. I want to see if they can utilize him a little bit more. I also think he's somebody who creates a possible, if you're going to have somebody out there on special teams that creates that hole for Dominique Robinson, it could be Noah Sewell as well on the special team side. But we need that linebacker depth. We need guys that can get put out there and can make contributions. I think that Noah Sewell, this will be an interesting season for him to see if he can live up a little bit more to his name. That third linebacker spot, while I love Jack Sanborn, and I think that he is a perfect piece there, Noah Sewell being a little bit more better of an athlete, if he can understand the playbook, if he can kind of figure out, okay, this is where I need to be and think the game at the speed that Jack Sanborn does, you may see Noah Sewell finishing out this season as the third linebacker instead of Jack Sanborn. But you got a long way to get to overcome Jack Sanborn.
I agree with you, and I think that's what Sanborn has a ceiling. Like, he's a solid player.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, I'm not mad if we make a move to get another linebacker. But to your point, you forget, I think Noah also dealt with a little bit of injury too.
He did. He started the season last year with injury.
So dealing with injury, we know he's fast. And if he's got another year of the system, getting stronger and learning how to be a professional, et cetera, he could be in that. I don't want to say that, but the ceiling for that role to me is Derek Brooks. That's the Hall of Fame, super fast linebacker for the outside linebacker in this type of defense.
Yeah.
Urlacher is the class of the division for the middle linebacker. Briggs and Jack Sanborn are kind of, but like Briggs was.
Briggs way better than Sanborn.
No.
Briggs and TJ Edwards are closer
Let
together.
me finish.
I gotta hear this one.
Let me cook.
Ooh, okay.
I'm saying that Briggs is much higher on that tier of a solid tackling linebacker. Sanborn is in that realm. I mean, him and TJ Edwards and Briggs they remind me of each other.
Yeah.
Tackling machines.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that, but with that type of speed that Sewell has, he could be that missing piece that they've always wanted in that linebacker core. TJ and Tremaine Edmonds is a good linebacker. Like he's supposed to be the guy that spreads the field. He's supposed to be in that Urlacher kind of that safety kind of role, the extra help. But I would be very interested to see how Noah takes off.
I think what I also am interested in seeing is the part where, right, Jack Sanborn at one point last season was our best linebacker early in the season.
Yeah.
He knew the system, though. I really want to see what a second year in this system does for Tremaine and TJ. Because we saw by the second half of this season,
things start to cook.
They knew the system. All of a sudden, you were like, oh, okay, they playing a lot better.
I feel like that was the Montez Sweat effect.
But they were doing that before Sweat got there. They had a couple of games before Montez Sweat got there where the linebacking core was everywhere. That Oakland game, Montez wasn't there for that we went to. Montez Sweat wasn't on the team yet, and that linebacking core was everywhere on the field. It disrupted everything. Now Oakland had 2 bad quarterbacks,
yeah,
but it disrupted everything.
Nobody,
It disrupted everything they wanted to do. You still had Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs couldn't get himself going. There was a lot of good from the linebacking core. A couple, not a long time, but I think that there was a turn in the defensive unit when Montez got there, right before Montez got there, and Montez getting there skyrocketed.
And your opportunity to be there, have you had any conversations in relations to, obviously what this looks like? And have you ever had any conversation with Eric Washington in regards to this?
Eric loves the linebackers. I haven't personally, but I've been in the room with Eric when he's talking about him, and he loves this linebacking core. He loves Tremaine Edmonds,
it's
loves
a solid
TJ
core.
Edwards. I mean, this is a legitimate linebacking core that he gets that he gets to be a part of coaching. And I think that he views even some of the younger guys as guys that can come up and make an impact. And that's really what you really want to see. You want to have that depth. You want to have that guy when one goes down, you're going to have somebody in there to replace him, right? If TJ goes down with something, you move Jack over, you bring Noah up, and Noah's able to figure it out. There's a lot of opportunity here for the Bears. They got a lot of upside with these guys. I love how Ryan Post drafted a lot of these guys because to me, the conversation around them is brought in with an expected talent, but with a ton of room to grow. And we've seen that through his first 2 years. Jaquan Brisker hit. Boom, here we go. Tyreek Stevenson hit. Here we go. Kyler Gordon hit. Here we go. But Jaquan and Kyler, we saw get better the season after that. It was like, oh, snap. These boys got some talent on their side, right? Hope to see that from Tyreek. Javon Dexter, end of the season, seemed like he settled down. Seems like he's picking up right where he left off. So there's a lot still to be seen. But I think that when you look at how Eric Washington views his defense, they say it all the time. Nobody has said they're a top 5 defense more than the Bears. Like they come in, they just like, yeah, we top 5. By what metric?
By what metric?
Which one? I mean, end of the season, phenomenal. Yeah, 100. But top 5. Else. But like top, okay. So and they just like, no, we top 5.
And let me ask you this, like piggybacking off of that. Has there been any conversation around the fact that he's not calling those particular plays, but he's there as the DC?
No, because I think that is, again, when I talked about insulating Flus, I think that's what that is, right? Okay. You bring guys in who are, what did Flus have to do last season that we had to go outside the building to get? He went and got essentially a defensive scout to look ahead at teams. That's where Eric Washington jobs is going to come in. I don't want Eric Washington calling plays.
Okay.
Flus' only value to me right now is as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He's a good defensive coordinator.
What's interesting is I just happened to look this up. So Sweat came.
Do I have that? Yeah.
So Sweat came in week 9, and then TJ Edwards in week 9 had 15 tackles, week 10, 12. And then after that, pretty much 9, 6, 4, 6, 6, 2, and 10. Like it was like almost like he didn't have to do as much as he did once Sweat got there, because I believe they're on the kind of the same side as the right side.
Well, no, TJ's on the right, Montez is on the left.
Yeah. No, he's the weak side. No, weak side is on
right.
Weak side was
left side. Yeah.
No, yeah, weak side is left.
Because that's the strong. Okay, never mind. I don't know. It's just interesting. Like the tackles went down for him after what's the name got there. But it's just interesting to see the effect of the defensive line making an impact, because now it just creates less pressure for them, because their job really is to cover. That's what they want. That's what this whole cover 2 Tampa 2 defense is about. That D line gives you enough pressure to disrupt the offensive line, disrupt the passing lanes, sit there and block the deflect passes. Interceptions are going to go up. Especially Kevin Byard. I mean, that's going to be very interesting. Him next to Jaquan Brisker. That's going to be really awesome.
I would say this, going back to what you just mentioned about them saying they're top 5, considering who we got to play this season. I don't think that projection is going to be like, we don't have that many heavy hitters for them to go against, for them not to say that they're not top 5.
We don't. Well, what you don't,
it's the talent that they're facing is going to make them look.
And they know how they played in the division.
Well,
the defense has played Detroit fairly well in the division. The defense have played Green Bay fairly well. They dominated Minnesota. We just couldn't score no points. So, like, when you look at our division, you get, a defense that did really well against it.
But you don't want a paper chump. I don't want you to look good against all these bums, and then when it's time to really play against the true competition, we're not showing up. So you're supposed to beat these dudes.
That's the catch-22, though, because you can only play who's in front of you, And as long as you're not playing down to your competition, though. But if you only get one real test, like every season, or this particular season, not every season, then us to throw up a dud against like San Francisco. I'm not saying we will. You could kind of accept that because it's like, hey, we don't face a San Francisco caliber team.
Nope.
Throughout the season.
That's every Bears season. That's every time. Yeah, we'll beat all these bums, and then we get up against some real competition. Oh, we almost. No, you're supposed to win.
Depends on how it looks. I'm with you though. I'm with you.
I don't want that. That's the whole thing about changing this whole mentality, changing how we operate as a team, all that. No, there is no one cares about moral victories.
There is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
It's like in Rocky 3, right?
Everybody take a shot. Take your shots. No, not you. Not you. You leave that down there. You leave that down. Why is that even by you still?
Because I left it there from last
taking shots of Smirnoff. You got bad friends.
Do we need to cover the special teams
bad
real
friends?
quick?
No. Last two that we have on here, the cornerbacks they have making the team: Jalen Johnson, Tyree Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, Terrell Smith, Jalen Johnson, Josh Blackwell, Greg Stroman Jr., the best DB unit in the NFL.
It's pretty solid.
You also have to include into that the safeties: Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Jonathan Owens, Elijah Hicks, Tre'Davious Moore.
I feel good about everything.
Tre'Davious Moore.
I feel good about everything we just said.
Like that's the best DB unit in the NFL.
Yeah.
By far to me. Like just looking at your starters, right? You're talking about Jalen Johnson, Tyree Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker.
I'm happy.
And then you're bringing up the rear with a tackling machine in Jonathan Owens. You've got Terrell Smith, who had to fill in as a starter a couple of times last season. Did a phenomenal job. Josh Blackwell and Jalen Jones. I don't need to see him out there. But
good professionalism. Kept it moving.
Solid players. So I didn't hear what you said.
I said no Diddy anyway.
I don't even know what was Diddy into.
You said you bring it up the rear. No Diddy. Anyway. Yep. Just throw that for fun. Anyway.
That felt like a stretch. That one felt like a stretch. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, listen. It's Monday. I want this.
That one felt like a stretch. You notice we got a lot less pauses in here when there's no Jordan.
I mean,
I was going to say
anytime
that
you name yourself the meat man.
Went 32 minutes before we even had a single flag.
Yeah, and it's a questionable flag. I'm a challenge it. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a questionable flag. I'm a challenge.
Listen, up the rear is an interesting statement.
Bring up the rear. I feel like people say that.
Hey, listen. All right, French Montana.
Oh, you double flagging. That's crazy.
Listen, you said it twice. I had to do it. Anyway.
Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you have not done so. 99 on YouTube, 92 over on the Twitter side. I think a lot of the YouTube family migrated over to Twitter, bro. We usually had 200 in the chat just on YouTube. I think we got a lot of people over here on the Twitter side.
As long as it's 200 in the chat.
As long as it's 200 in the chat, I'm not mad at it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Let's keep this thing moving along as we listen, not a bad 52-man roster.
Not a bad
52 or 53-man roster, I should say. To me,
you might as well give some love.
I mean, it's special teams. Cairo, Tory, Valus.
Tory. Valus is up there twice. Oh no.
Valus gonna be there.
Ah,
he's not on punts. Though.
Jesus Scott.
Valus ain't bringing back punts. Tyler Scott and Dante Pettis are definitely getting started.
Bro, do you know how wild it's going to be for him to have all that time and still month for punt?
Don't wish that on that.
Or a kickoff. Like he's going. Like,
oh, by the way,
I don't wish that on anybody.
Over 200 in a chat.
200. You got to think about the irony of it. It's like, dog, you only had one job, and you still
got one job.
I think this is what's funny. Like this, Jay Greer said, Bears rostered and came a long way. That's so funny to me because literally we used to come into every season with questions at every spot.
Now
we're just like, we're talking about like the 5th and 6th string dudes not making it.
Shout out to Poles, man.
Shout out to King Poles, man. Flipping this whole thing in 3 years, dog. You got to be able to flip it in 3. Let's keep this thing moving along. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We got to talk some NBA, my boy.
Here we go.
Got to talk a little NBA because our beloved Chicago Bulls are dumb. Woo! We got some dummies.
I just want to say that though the views expressed by Pat the Designer are only of this this particular incident.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
I got the green light.
It doesn't matter.
All right, here we go. Let's take this right.
Where we at, who we affiliated with. We are going to be honest. I am at the home of the White Sox, and they are the worst baseball team in baseball history.
All right,
and they are run by one of the worst owners in baseball history.
All right, so here we go. So you all are ready for this one. So the Chicago Bulls apparently had received offers
It's Crimson. R.I.P. to 200 in the chat.
Hey, R.I.P. to that. Because as soon as you hear Bulls, you go.
Hey, it is what it is. What it is.
Hey, that was a
It
good
is what it is.
We got to report the news though.
We gotta talk about what's out here to be talked about.
I just want to say this, Joe. You don't watch much NBA nowadays. So I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you this, baby. Listen,
Joe, who does Alex Caruso play for?
Hopefully you know this. But I will actually. That's crazy if you actually said that. Would you trade him for potentially a trade package revolving around a top 10 pick in this year's draft?
I can't believe they did. I had just found out about that. I'm like, he's like our sixth man.
He literally is like
you're not trading. I mean, I'm lost for words. Like
now,
I don't know what they're doing over there.
If I have to add this, I'm going to say this. It's not dumb in the sense of them wanting to maintain a shot at being a playoff team. Here's where it's dumb for me. Because he is a pivotal part. He's a very pivotal part for us to be a
I'm about to
defensive
get these
team.
credits wrong.
Let me finish. Let me cook for a second.
Before you cook, can we tell the people what we're talking about
exactly.
before we actually get to the?
I got you. The reports are that the Bulls rejected trades around Alex Caruso. Number one being a top 10 pick for Alex Caruso. They even had the Warriors being involved in that particular trade as well. This is coming from Will. I can't pronounce his last name.
Will Gottlieb.
There you go. That gentleman. Now you take that with a grain of salt.
CHGO.
There you go. You take that with a grain of salt, though. But apparently, this is credible enough for us to talk about it. Anyway, good coverage. We're good. We can move on. We're going to move on. And so, listen, the reason why I am going to say that this is not a bad thing initially is because I like the premise of which they positioned it. Hey, we want to maintain some level of competitiveness so that we can be a playoff team. Here's the problem. We're not a playoff team.
We suck.
We suck. We suck. We
what
haven't developed enough people, and we are now, our star is pretty much under 25. This is a perfect time to do what, Pat? What it starts with an R.
Rebuild.
There you go, Pat. Don't worry about it. Thanks for playing our word game of Scrabble or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, listen, it's the time to rebuild. And for some odd reason, we are stuck in this level of mediocrity that only AK seems to be tied to. So my question to you is, Pat, if you had the chance to trade Alex Caruso for a top 10 pick in this draft, would you have done it?
Listen, I'm so irritated at this, and here's what irritates me the most.
Hey, his posture changed. Did you say? Listen, my man look like he about to line up right now.
I feel the same way. Like this is ridiculous.
Because here's what irritates me the most about this. I can't even look at AK on this. I can't even look at Mark Eversley on this. This is not Acme.
I don't.
And it makes me question how much blame they've taken. Because the report literally says
ownership.
Ownership
You're
will not allow this. Per Will Gottlieb, this is what he had to say in the article. According to sources with knowledge of the situation, Bulls have received offers from multiple teams consisting of multiple protected first-round picks. One of those deals includes a pick that is in the top 10 of the 2024 draft. The source said the Golden State Warriors were among the teams who made a strong offer for Caruso. The source indicated that this was a mandate from the Reinsdorfs to fight for the playoffs that no doubt impacted the front office's decision-making when it came to pulling the trigger on any Alex Caruso deal. And this is why this irritates me. This is why this pisses me off, because I watched this. I watched the White Sox open up a window. I watched them have a team that actually looked like it was going to be a competent baseball team. Dare I say, a competing baseball team. Tim Anderson, Yohan Moncada, Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez. You know what I then watched them do? I watched them go out and say, we have to right a wrong that we did back in 1982. We have to go hire Tony La Russa. We can't make moves because we have to go out and we have to keep our guys in the building. We have to build this internally. I can't even blame AK for this. I can't even blame Mark Eversley for this, because I watched them do the exact same thing with the front office that the White Sox had. And then I watched them blame them for everything that went wrong, fire everybody, and bring in Chris freaking Getz. This is a Reinsdorf issue. This is a ownership issue. You have ownership who seemingly, right? Remember, it's supposed to be Michael's team. We taking our hands off of it. This ain't Michael's decision. No. This ain't a Michael decision. This is a Jerry decision. This is a Jerry move that we've been seeing Jerry make for 100 years.
Because you know why? He's taking advantage, knowing that people are going to buy tickets. Until people stop actually going to the games, what is the motivation? The bottom line doesn't stop if we keep bringing in the money.
Hey, Joe.
And the funny thing about
Don't nobody go to White Sox games?
I'm
no
talking
one
about the
goes to
Bulls.
White
We
Sox
don't.
game.
We don't put
I
up
don't
with
care
it.
about the
No,
Sox.
no. But this is the thing. It has nothing. I love when people say this. Is you got to affect their bottom line. You have to affect their money. That don't matter. He's operating with a 1985 mindset in 2024.
That's very true.
The most expensive player the Sox have. How much people getting paid in baseball? 600 million. How much
Easy.
you Darvish just get?
Jesus.
600 million, 700 million.
Yeah, they got a lot of money.
The most expensive player we've ever
It's
signed,
like 88, right?
79 million. Andrew Benintendi. By the way, he's the third worst baseball player in the majors.
Yeah, dude.
This is a Jerry Reinsdorf mindset in the wrong era of basketball. Like everything that he does, he's sitting here saying, we want to be competitive so that we can keep our team in the conversation. No one's talking about you except to laugh at you, but he don't care because guess what? The seats are filled with the businessmen and all of that. And it doesn't matter about if people are going to the games or not going to the games. This is how he operates. This is the teams that he builds. This is how now phenomenal businessman.
That's
Phenomenal businessman.
That's what it is.
Phenomenal businessman. But as far as an owner, he could care less about actually improving his basketball team to championship level. Because if you did care, there's no way that you're interfering with what your GM can and can't do.
But
If you went out, paid this guy, and I believe Michael went out and found AK. I believe that Michael got it 80% of the way here, and Dad was like, "Nah, bro. Let me take that back real
this
quick.
is not
I don't like
this
what's
is
going
not
on."
how we
Context
do
of this.
things. Let me show you the right way.
I'm asking
There's
context
Dad's
of-
way, and then there's the right way.
I don't think he doesn't care about winning. I think he cares about winning under the certain parameters, like you said, 1985, meaning I don't want to spend the money that some of these other guys are willing to spend.
It's just
I'm not gonna
basic
vote you.
business.
And the reason I say that is because if you go to it, like I went to multiple games last season. They were competitive games. We actually beat Milwaukee in one of them.
Every game I went to last year, we won.
Like they were really competitive games. The spirit in the UC was high.
Actually,
like,
I went to one that wasn't competitive because we blew the doors off Indiana.
oh, and then I went to one where we blew the doors off Detroit. It
Yeah.
wasn't even like, listen, we were literally just sitting there, like just kicking it by the second quarter. Like it's competitive enough, but it's not championship
It's
competitive.
complacency.
It is complacency. Yeah,
you
absolutely.
had the best. You didn't want.
And you didn't want to pay the best.
Do we really know what was really going on back there? Like you knew you had the best. You didn't. You blew up a whole dynasty because did you not want to pay $30 million? You didn't want to. Well, to a degree, they use an excuse for the guys getting older, right? Scotty with the back, et cetera, et cetera. You had it. But they knew they had a run of 10 years worth of sellouts. But they used Mike for the next 10 years. Then they made enough room where Jerry kind of semi-rebuilt the team a little bit. Then they bring Garpax in. They built the squad with Kirk. Then they get lucky with
But you got to
with,
understand,
Rose.
it's about where. By the way, take another shot. It's about where they cheap out.
History.
At. It's about where they cheap out.
Where
at.
they cheap out at.
That next team. What was that next team, Joe?
Which one?
After the championship team, what's the next team they built?
It was the Baby Bulls squad.
Elton Brand, Ron Artest, Jamal
Jamal
Crawford,
Crawford.
Jay Williams,
Yeah.
Brad Miller. All of them are all-stars.
And they almost broke it up again.
They did break that team up.
Because they went and traded Elton Brand where they were going to move him earlier. But it's like you didn't want to pay Elton Brand.
But then they didn't get good coaching.
You went out and you got your buddy. You went out and got
Yeah.
Tim Floyd.
You
That's
didn't
what
get-
I'm
you didn't get
saying.
good coaching
They're good.
behind
it. You got a
There are
placeholder.
certain moments where you actually get it right. Derrick Rose, you got it right.
But some of this,
And then somehow you go out there and you find a way to F up that combination. That dude's done. We don't believe in him anymore. We don't think that he's going to be successful anywhere else he goes. Jimmy Butler's been successful everywhere else he's gone. Tom Thibodeau's been successful everywhere else he's gone.
And I don't like
Everybody
that,
that
man.
you get rid of is successful everywhere else they've gone because you want to sit here and operate like a mom and pop shop over on the corner of freaking who gives an AF.
This also goes back to coaching because we've had several players, even from the last 2 years, who one is even in the finals right now. Two of them are actually in the finals right now.
Yeah, both on the same
Both
team.
on the same team.
DJJ and Daniel Gafford.
but to me, what the common denominator is strong personalities that stand up to someone like a Reinsdorf.
100%.
It reminds me of the Bears. It's strong personalities that stand up to the ownership who probably questions them, right? And it gets to a point where you're not appreciating the talent, or because you got to think about what Reinsdorf did, right? When he bought that team, they were nothing, right? What, like the Last Dance, what to me it showed you the mentality, like you just said, about how a lot of those owners thought. It's a new day right now. It's a lot of ownership groups that run these teams now. It's more modern thinking type of owners. He's still one of the original dudes. What is he, 80, 83, 84?
Age-wise, or when he bought the team?
No, he's like 80-something years old.
Both are right, by the way. Both of them are right, age-wise and when he bought the team.
He bought it in 81 or 82, whatever it is. But
he's 88.
He's 80. Like, that person is still running things. 88 years old. He's the last of that generation. It feels like the
Blackhawks.
Yeah, and
it feels like the Blackhawks.
And what happened when Rocky Wirtz? Then he passed away.
Rocky
His son took
ended up passing
away.
away.
New owner, modern thinking. His son took it over. We have to think differently. And honestly, that's a lot of people get stuck in their ways. I've been successful. This is how we did it. This is how we're going to do it. What's that Tony Stark line? It's the way Dad did it. This is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
That's how it's always been done.
I'm optimistic to say that the Bulls are like one step away from doing what the Bears recently did.
The problem is, and here's why I almost can't compare the Bears. I can compare the Bears before George took over.
Mm-hmm.
When George took over, his first regime is John Fox. Right?
He let Ernie Accorsi.
Right. His first regime is John Fox, though.
Yeah, through Ernie Accorsi, though.
But that means that he went through one GM. Anybody, you get a new job, you got to figure your job out.
You got to figure it out. Yeah.
He went through one GM.
Yeah.
He was like, that didn't work. We got to fire everybody. Ryan Poles is second GM. We love everything he's doing. So I can't give you for George McCaskey what I could have gave you for Michael, what I could have gave you for what was done right after Muggsy ended up passing away. That's a different Bears regime than what we have right now, because George looked at it, and to me, it is a difference because Mom said, hey, look, Virginia said, this is y'all's to build. Y'all got to figure it out. Let one son go through it. He went through his lump. She ain't step in and say, you got to do this. Now she stepped in when she was like, hey, you suck. I got to fire you. Like when you know you bad when your mama got to fire you on national television.
Yeah, but you're talking about egos. Like these people that run these type of teams, again, I think it's a difference when you have an ownership group that understands the business, like really understand the business. What we're seeing now with Chicago is, for the first time, you see a major change that once Ted Phillips goes away, who does the bidding of what the McCaskies want to do, now we bring in a president of operations, who ran the Big Ten. He was successful in St. Louis. He built a stadium in Minnesota. Like, this is big time football. We're not talking about like if you got to spend a little bit of money to get what you want at the end of the day. And so it's just disappointing, or just it's refreshing in a sense that now we're like, we got to get a quarterback. Like our whole team has changed. The energy is different now.
But I think my point in all of that is that I don't look at the Bears and the Bulls as apples to apples. Mama let it go, and it's gone. Hey, it's on you. It's on you to figure it out. It took George one regime to figure it out. Now, for us, a regime is right. John Fox is what? That's 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
The equivalent.
So that's a long time.
No, but the equivalent is that's like Virginia is still running the team.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I can't put the flack on the Bears. I can put the Bulls are who they. This is who they always been.
Well,
they get rid of Vinny Del Negro when Vinny and John Paxson get into it. No, they were swinging on each other.
But here's the thing.
That's with everybody.
Here's the thing. You said that this was mostly a Reinsdorf thing. We know we attribute this to mostly Jerry. I don't think this is a Michael move. And I think that I think
this is a Jerry move.
I think we're closer to Michael being able to have more say, because it's getting louder. We're getting loud. The press is getting louder around, hey, this is not how things are.
I'm still shocked.
But Jerry don't care about that. Michael cares enough that he ended up moving everything when the All-Star game came to Chicago, and he's like, hey, do y'all think we're a real franchise? And I was like, no.
I'm with you.
That's when the changes came.
I think we're closer to that reality happening now. Again, he's 88.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying that he has to transition or anything like that. I'm saying that eventually, he steps away. I think that's going to be one of those things where that happens.
It's not happening.
And you can get, and some of these moves, let's be for real, some of the reasons why we are where we are is absolutely AK's fault. Right? Let's not be. Let's
No,
not.
I think,
let's-
but
I think
some
you
of
got
it
the
is
emperor-
absolutely.
But
I think
here's
you
the
got
thing.
the emperor behind all those moves.
No,
like,
but here's the thing.
I mean, come on
I'm
now.
I'm not saying that the moves he made aren't his fault, but if the moves I'm making are with me handcuffed, okay, what's the best move I can make here? Patrick Beverly. All right, it's better than
But bro,
most.
Hey, what's the best move I can make here with the
listen,
4th overall?
we're talking
Patrick
about.
Williams.
Listen, they're talking about not trading a 6th man for a first round, a top 10 pick. Draft is bad or not. You can't tell me that
He also has one of the highest plus minuses on the team.
No, no.
Like he's
But
he's a freakishly
really
ridiculous
good glue
stat
guy.
stuffer.
He's
Realistically,
a good glue guy, but I'm not. Our
No,
team
he
isn't going anywhere.
Statistically,
Let's be real.
He's very
even
valuable.
going
No.
anywhere.
Let's be real. Let's be real. If he's on a championship team, he's Draymond Green.
I wouldn't
If
even
he's
say
on
that.
if he's on a championship
No,
team,
he's white
no.
from
If
Boston.
he's,
No.
I'm gonna tell you
He's
this right.
on
I'm gonna
board
tell you
with
this right now.
Draymond Green.
If he's on a championship team, we're talking about him going to a Hall of Fame.
Who?
Alex
Caruso.
Caruso, 100%.
Wait, what?
If he's on a championship level team,
Let me add clarity to what
we're
he's doing.
talking
Or
about
context.
him going.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
No, yeah, let me
If
add
he-
context to it. He does so much.
Yes.
He does so much defensively. He does so much on the offense and how it
What
flows.
am I missing?
Like Draymond,
You're
from-
saying that this Alex Caruso is going to the
Time
Hall
I
of
got
Fame?
no.
What I'm
Draymond
saying
Green
is
is not a stat stuffer, right? Realistically, they call him triple single, right? He gets you 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists.
he's going to the Hall of Fame.
But he's going to the Hall of Fame because when he gives you that 7, 7, and 7,
Yeah, but he's a
cooking
starter.
in so many. Yeah, Alex Caruso.
Alex
would be a
Caruso
starter.
could be a starter. The
He's
Bulls,
not.
No, but what I'm saying is, if he was on a championship level team,
Then he would be
Ale-
doing more here to do something right now.
We're not set
No.
up for him to be successful.
No,
Draymond Green is not set up to be
no.
successful.
I might have to roll credits on y'all.
Dog,
No,
dog.
It's just
If,
the utility of it.
Draymond's on his own team, will he do more?
I understand.
Without Steph
I
and
understand
without-
where you're going, but Draymond to
Potentially,
me is more.
He would score a little bit
he would
more,
score a
right?
little more,
Alex
true.
Caruso had his
Draymond
highest
is-
output offensively last season.
But this is the
When they
system.
asked him to do more, he was able to do
Yes,
more.
but he's doing the Dennis Rodman type of stuff. We need you to sacrifice certain things to do in the total scheme of things. Alex Caruso, to your point, he is a very good glue guy. He's not that guy that goes to the Hall of Fame. Regardless, if he's even that type of impact, we should be doing more because he's still the 6th man.
Okay,
Alex Caruso was
hold
like
on,
your Thaddeus Young.
Hold on.
He's
hold
a
on.
better Thaddeus Young.
Just to no, way better Thaddeus Young. Just so we understand this, right? You know the Lakers don't win in the bubble without him.
Facts.
I agree. He's a good glue guy.
That's not a glue guy.
Okay.
If you're a guy that you don't win in the bubble without, that's more than a glue guy.
They had a lot of glue
If
guys.
that's a guy, if you're a guy that I
LeBron's full
don't,
of glue.
I put it to you like
if
this.
you're a guy that I don't win an NBA championship without,
you're
more than a glue
You're a
guy.
necessity.
Dude, no.
Name a glue guy that a team doesn't win an NBA championship without.
Andre Iguodala.
Andre Iguodala was more than a glue guy.
He was
He was the
starter.
Finals MVP.
He was an all-star. Like, no.
He came off the bench.
A team dynamic is
He
to
was
me,
the 6th man.
To
He was
me,
the sixth man.
Caruso is kind of in that Tony Allen type of vein.
Hey,
really good
listen,
dude.
Andre Iguodala
Great defensive
got Finals
player.
MVP getting cooked.
I'm just saying.
Well, he ain't
My
get cooked.
point is that
No,
we.
he didn't get
No,
I
he put
appreciate
a-
Alex
it was-
Caruso, but
it
I'm
was
fine
30s.
trading him for a top
It was
10
30s.
pick.
No, but the percentages were
Matter of fact,
terrible.
No, I
give
know
me
the
freaking,
percentage
give me,
was
you know who I want.
No,
I want-
listen,
I want my
7'4" Joe.
four-
We're having two different conversations. I agree with you.
I'm just saying we could get
no,
probably 17, 10.
Joe, I agree with you to trade him.
True.
I've
This
said
is a-
I've
this
said
is a
this
this
the
and
entire time.
Right.
I agree.
That's
right?
what we're talking about.
I think if you traded him to Houston, that you could get the 3rd overall pick. I think that that's a real
I'm
conversation
pleased with anybody that,
can
would
have.
give me a pick for freaking Alex
But
Caruso.
I also think you're very much undervaluing Alex Caruso.
No, I think I have him right where I think he's supposed to be. I think he is a valuable player. He is not
Alex
top
Caruso
10.
on the Heat, they go a lot farther.
No,
Yes.
Oh yes, they do.
no, he's a good.
See,
glue guy.
that's the part. That's the
Yeah,
part that you're undervaluing Alex Caruso.
He's what 10 points, 6
Joe,
assists.
the NBA
2,
don't
3
even
steals a
value
game.
Alex Caruso as low as you value him.
That's a fact.
They
I'm not
offered
even
two.
gonna lie.
They
You know
offered
what?
two
Hey, you know what? I
first
guess
round
I'm
picks
wrong.
for him last year.
I'm
It's-
not
it-
seeing top 10
No,
pick stuff.
But
here.
here's the thing: you're not seeing it because of how he's utilized here. But even
Right.
here, he
Even
has
on
moments
LA,
to
he was-
shine.
LA, he was decent in LA.
No,
but
in LA, he was important.
In LA, he was a dog.
He was
important.
he was more impactful than
You
Austin
guys
Reeves,
smoking crack.
but he just couldn't shoot as well.
Dog.
Austin
I'm
and
telling
Austin
you,
Reeves
if he-
is a no
if-
is a not you
it's
can't trade
Race
him.
Nation, y'all
Yo,
trade Caruso or not?
No, we all trading Caruso. Nobody's saying that.
No one's saying
No
don't
one's
trade
saying
him.
don't trade
because we believe the bullshit. We start rebuilding.
we think the Bulls need to start rebuilding. But
Yes.
the conversation that we're
Not
having
Hall of
has
Fame.
nothing to do with that.
He ain't going to no goddamn Hall of Fame.
I didn't say he was going to the Hall of Fame either.
If he was on a
I said-
championship team, he
listen
would
to
be
me.
a
If
Hall of
he
Fame.
was, yes.
No,
talent.
he's no different. He's Ron Harper.
No.
Of the Bulls.
He's not.
He's not.
He's not.
When
Ron
Ron Harper
Harper
got to the Bulls, he was like 6
Ron
points a
Harper-
game and very, very irrelevant.
No,
What?
Ron
6
Harper.
games?
I mean, not-
Ron Harper
not
was above
irrelevant.
20.
He was a starting,
He was
technically
6 points a
point
game
guard.
Yeah.
when he got to the Bulls.
when
That
he
man, this
left
not even a starter.
and came to the Bulls.
Who is he? Who? I'm just saying. You said all of it. I'm sorry. I'm about to go crazy over it.
Joe, I'm telling you, like
No.
if he was on a perennial championship
He
team,
was going to be a good player on a really good team.
that's
He's white. He's white over there in Boston.
that's great. You're wrong,
I'm not
but I like that you're saying it.
wrong.
I like how you're saying
You
it.
just said Hall of Fame.
His offensive plus minus and his defensive plus minus
Are
on
the
this team
are two of the best in the
on
NBA.
yeah, so it's like it's just how he as a player, his
He's a good
impact
player. He's not a Hall of Fame.
he does a lot of stuff that don't show up on the stat sheet.
You know what? We're having two different arguments. Okay.
We are.
We are. We
You're not getting my blood pressure.
we've
up, man.
literally said this.
You're not.
You need to put beige rage on for yourself.
I'm
Yeah,
no,
you
need to put confused
I
rage
can't
on there. That's what
right
it's
now.
happening. You're very
I'm
confused right now.
I'm about to lose my stuff.
They also let anybody into the Basketball Hall of Fame,
I
but
would say-
that's a whole different conversation. There.
This is a great comment, and this is I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but it lets me know exactly where we are. What do you know about Mikal Bridges?
Now to me, I mean, that's a decent shooting guard right there. He's a starting guard for Charlotte, right? Huh? For who? Wait,
For
what?
Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn. He
Miles.
got,
You thinking Miles? You thinking Miles?
Miles.
You thinking Miles? Mikal.
Mikal Bridges.
yeah, one of them is the same thing.
They both. They honestly,
I'll
both.
give 'em that.
both-
I'll give 'em
I ain't
that.
gonna lie to you. I ain't
I'll
gonna lie
give
to
'em
you. Both of their profiles is kind of like, yeah, you can say the same thing. He's a solid guard for whichever team you pick. Like,
I mean, Mikal
Solid
Bridges
guard.
is an Iron Man.
Solid
Mikal
guard.
Bridges. I mean,
It's,
look,
it's
solid.
not his Iron Man. He literally played
I'm
83
saying I
games.
value Caruso, just not at that level of not wanting to trade a
but the
top
league,
10
no,
pick.
no, I agree with you. But the
Jesus.
league does value him that high, and I think that's my problem with it. That's my problem with the Bulls.
I want
When somebody, this is not an overvalue to me. This is an apt value.
Shut up.
Hey, Drew just cooked you.
Drew,
Ain't nothing like your friends as your
Stop.
brother.
Said,
Ain't
"Don't
nothing
watch
I'm
like your
asking
brother.
Joe Ball questions. He
nothing
ain't
like
watched
your
since '98.
Oh God, he gets on my nerves.
That's crazy.
Ain't nothing like your brother to sit there and always try to always come for you.
Oh, dog. I love it. I love it. Hey, let's keep this thing going, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Finals in tonight, boys?
No.
Yep.
I got Boston 4-2, but they lose tonight.
Nah,
Boston loses.
they're going home. Why even draw it out?
Well, I don't think they want to. I
They're winning tonight.
don't think
They
Boston
handle
wants
business
to.
for
Like,
three straight
what
games.
kind of answer was that? Why even draw it out? Like, I don't. It's
I'm
about if you
saying
can beat them or
they can
not.
get home. They did what they had to do. All you need to do is take one game on the home team.
It
So that's
depends
what
on
it
it depends on how. All right, Kristaps Porzingis is expected to play as of
Really?
as of an hour.
Oh, he
ago.
calling it a career. He's calling it a career.
He's expected to play. If he's impactful, it's a wrap. But if it's a disservice, like if he's hindering them,
Well, they won't put him on the floor.
well, I mean,
They'll let him run out there for starting, get his name called. He'll try to go out there and win, and then they'll be like, "All right, you dying out there."
Kristaps is that person who could like shoot you out of a game quickly because you went to him too many times. And his injury, I'm questioning it. Like I will be attacking him as soon as he's on the floor.
But it's a calf,
Yeah, but
more so injury, right? A
I
ligament.
thought it was like upper cheek,
It's a
ain't it
ligament.
upper booty or something like that.
Wait a minute.
I thought it was tied to his calf.
I thought it was like the part that like go up in the thigh meat booty area.
No, I think it's a ligament from the knee to the calf.
Y'all both just like confused me. So injury explained. That didn't help.
yeah, no, because and that's the problem. That's the problem. It's such a weird named injury. It's like I don't know what the heck this is. You ain't reading all that. You ain't got the attention span to read all that.
I just can't pronounce it. So I'm not gonna do that.
Oh man, I'm gonna get to the breeze on time today, man. I'm just I agree.
That's the funniest.
No, this is injury in his ankle.
Oh, we both wrong.
Oh,
Where
his
did you
ankle.
get butt cheek from?
I thought it was what's it called?
I thought it was calf.
I can see why
Is it
it's
calf
called.
to ankle?
Listen,
Then
it's
fine.
called medial retin.
Oh, you know why?
I thought it was like
that's why I
rectal or
thought
something.
knee-
It
Word.
does say it's retina, column, whatever dislocation of the posterior
Right.
tibialis tendon.
Oh, that's not butt,
so
Pat.
posterior.
When they said
like
medial,
back.
I'm thinking knee. That's why I said calf to knee.
And
something.
he's thinking rectal.
I heard
no, he's
posterior.
thinking Pat's, that's what Pat.
Ain't that what a booty is? Posterior? Ain't that what a booty is? I thought that was what it was.
All right, hold on.
Am I tripping?
That's fine. Hey, listen, I don't know, dog. I'm gonna find out. This is a long word. Posterior. I mean, it's further back in position or near.
We get it. It's the ankle. It's his ankle too, but it's
clearly a person's buttocks. But
no.
What is a
Yeah.
posterior?
No, he's saying what a posterior is. Jay Grizz, Pat got cheeks
it's
on
the back of a
pause.
structure, so it's not necessarily.
Oh, so
your
it can
butt.
just be the back.
So
Okay.
it's technically the rear of his ankle.
Okay, all right.
Oh, he's getting attacked left and right. I'm putting him in a switch. I'm gonna make sure he gets on a guard, and I'm gonna test that ankle out. That's what's gonna happen. So depends on how long they keep him in. I think this is one of those moments where you trying to do this could hinder you, much like how Jason Kidd putting what's his name in. He ain't took a 3 yet. What that man's name is? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, Maxi Kleber.
That man, you only there to shoot. He passed it up in wide open. You're hurting the team. This could be one of those situations. If that's the case, I got Mavs by like 5. I don't think they blow them out.
Who cares? I think they win tonight, period. Whether it's by 1 or by
I don't know.
5.
It also depends on what
I
version
think-
of Luka shows up. Like I don't know what that player only meeting that they had. If you check a focus, Luka's a dangerous player.
I think
he's a really dangerous player.
Hey,
knew
I'm
that
not
they
gonna
were
lie.
gonna win.
I'm not gonna lie. Did anybody see that video?
What?
Where he locked in? There's a video, and it's so weird because I've seen. I don't know a lot of people looking at that and they just like, no, he just like he blinked. No, bro. Like if you've been on a court and you've seen somebody locked in, or you've been on the field and you've seen somebody locking in, it's a video of Luka. He's sitting there and like he's got a different look in his eyes, and he blinks, and it's an assassin on the other side, and it's just like. Oh, okay. That's why they lost. Like, that makes sense. I can see it.
Hey.
like, bro.
What movie was like that? There was a movie like that. Dang, I can't remember. It was a movie where somebody did that where it was like he's not ready yet, and then
it was Rocky when he kept getting punched in the head.
No, not that one.
Rocky.
It's not Rocky.
It's not.
He's not getting beat. He's getting mad. What? No, he's getting beat. He just got
gonna come to me
9
later.
punches to the head, bro.
No, it wasn't Rocky. It was some other type of movie. It'll come to me later. But anyways,
but no, yeah, I do think that this ends tonight. I'd be intrigued to see if it went further. I'd actually. I'm not ready for basketball to be over, so I'm always looking for a game 7.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got Boston winning. I think being up 3-0 was just like statistically has never happened realistically. But I think the Mavs can make this interesting. I think the Mavs are the right team to challenge them from a mental aspect. Like vintage Kyrie going off against a Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and they've seen him play up close and personal. They've been on that team. They've shared that locker room. That's a different Kyrie too.
I think Kyrie focus is wrong.
What do you mean?
He's too focused on having a great game in front of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I think his focus every turn, he keeps it. And listen, it's the record. It's since he's left it. Since he's left Boston, he's 1-13 against them. In the Garden. He's got a horrible shooting percentages and all that in the Garden. Like it's weighing on him. And to me, this is the first time, and I think it's a reason why they're in this position now. I mostly attribute it to him and Luka's defense. It's just been horrible for most of this series.
Sure.
But I think that Kyrie has been so focused on, I have to kill y'all in the Garden, that it's put them behind the 8 ball. And if he goes in there focused on that tonight, he will lose. The Mavs will lose because they need him to be focused on, I need to do everything I can to get a win out of this. And I got to make sure that y'all chanting louder than ever.
It's over.
Kyrie sucks.
It doesn't matter. It's a wrap. 3-up, 3-1.
I think this also is.
Listen, Kyrie is the only person to come back from 3-1 ever.
Yeah, but I don't think you got refs helping, and you got freaking Deion.
I don't know. You got Scott Foster. That's like the ultimate help ref. There you go.
Who is that?
That's the ultimate help ref. You got Scott Foster,
and you just need to win one game. Like if they win this game,
now I'm heading back to Dallas.
I've got the crowd. Now I got that extra man there. I got the crowd there. They just need to win this game.
And we know Boston will crack under pressure.
Yeah, but
now I think Boston's made the climb. I think it's their time now. This is the perfect. If they don't win this year, it's a lot of changes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like this you have to win this year.
Please lose so that we can get some of those changes.
But you know what the funny thing is? If the Mavs lose, I could absolutely see us trading with them. Zach LaVine going to the Mavs.
I can see that.
Because they needed Zach LaVine.
Adding a piece.
Like what Kyrie sucked. Don't get me wrong. He had a horrible game. He was a focus of their defense, but no one else was hitting shots.
No.
PJ Washington didn't hit none of the shots he hit against Minnesota.
No.
Like none of those guys showed up to the point where it's like, hey, it's just two of them. What did Jokic say? It's just two of them. It's just two of them. Right?
No,
I'm gonna focus on you two.
There's nobody
I'm gonna
taking
shut that down.
Draymond out. There's nobody where refs suspending a guy for a game, changing the momentum. Like Boston's got it. I think they could close it out tonight.
I mean, that don't mean nothing. They could call the game poorly.
No, it's not gonna happen.
All right, good job.
Thanks.
Alex Caruso, Hall of Fame.
If Luka,
I just like seeing him lose his mind.
if Luka outdoors Jason Tatum today, before half,
what?
I could see this going back 2-3 in Dallas. Like that's the key matchup. Who attacks them? Hey, we're just talking playoff basketball. It's just the biggest thing today. You know what I'm saying? It's hey, no, Caleb Williams doesn't throw a pass in a game that means something for another couple of months. Just talking about the only game that really matters today.
Yeah, I got the.
You want to talk about the Skies?
He gave me the credits.
Oh, he did.
He gave me the credits. He
I
didn't give
gave
you
him
the credits.
That wasn't on you, kid.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, he gave me the credits.
You're so used to get the
biggest
credits
news
on you all the time. That
when it comes to basketball, I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good.
No, I think this is going to be an interesting finish to this series, and I do wonder if this is going to finish out in favor of if tonight finishes out in favor of Boston. Now, I did get this question asked to me on Inside the Association today, which was a fun time over there hanging out with Cameron Smith. Over under on Mike Breen bangs tonight, and I said,
wait, what?
Mike Breen bangs the
bang.
Hold on. Who's Mike Breen?
I don't remember it.
Drew, you so right, Drew. He knows nothing, Drew.
Coach, bro, Mike Breen.
Mike Breen's a what?
I forget. I remember. I know that name.
At least tell me what he's known. Just tell me one thing. Just tell me. We already said it, baby. Come on.
Oh, he's looking it up. He's looking it up now.
He's a sports announcer.
He's looking it up now.
He's a sports announcer. That's right. I know who he is.
Oh my God, Drew. Drew, we need you, Drew.
I know he's a sports announcer.
Oh my God.
I can't remember all these people.
Who's Dick Stockton?
Shut up. That's another announcer. I know who that is.
I know you do, because he was announcing football back in a relevant time for you. Hey, kid's disgusting up here, bro. Hey, kid don't even have nothing to say. He started looking.
I started texting somebody else. I'm like, this show's over. Like, come on, bro. Hey, listen, I'll see you later, bro. listen. Hey, come on, bro. Hey,
I
listen.
remember.
You could have lied and got it right.
He said the coach,
bro. He could have said, "Bang, yeah." You see that? He hear it every important
No,
game.
he said,
like he could have said that, and I'd be like, all right.
I said what he was saying. Mike Breen bang. Like what? I was going down the flag route.
Hey. Put the credits on yourself.
No.
Put the credits on yourself.
I'm not putting the credits
on no. I'm sorry. That was funny.
Craig Sager?
I know Craig. Shut up.
Just want to make sure.
We gotta check that. Who's Charles Barkley?
Is the name Ernie Johnson? Just all right.
Have you ever heard of Reggie Miller? Hey, he ain't gonna never remember JJ Redick.
Hey, can I sell you on Shaquille O'Neal? All right. So what's the last best and worst?
Might I interest you in Adam Amin?
No, you don't know who Adam Amin is.
I know.
No, he know Adam. He gotta know Adam. Adam do Bears too, though.
Okay,
he got a shot.
Yeah, okay.
All right, best and worst. Let's finish the show out here. Oh, you did want to do the expansion teams, didn't you?
I made a graphic.
Hey, you might as well throw the graphic up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Seattle getting one back.
That was part of.
We can throw it in on best and worst.
I mean, well, I actually made a topic.
Oh, okay, never mind.
There you go. So
Adam Silver hints at NBA expansion in the future. This one is they don't want to play more than 82 games. Well, how we expand it? That's my question. Like literally the biggest problem that the NBA has is one, is too many games for most people already, and two, they don't want to play more than 82 games. So how we expand it?
Well, you know what? Well, first of all, they had the odds. So I put, Vegas was -1,000. Seattle was -500 odds. They had Mexico City was
Mexico
plus
City is an
400.
interesting one.
I didn't realize how gorgeous Vancouver looks.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never looked up Vancouver before. That's a great looking city.
Kansas City at plus 1,800. Kansas City don't make no sense for it. Louisville makes absolutely no sense. Louisville. Paris plus 10,000. That would be dope. I don't get Paris even being in there. Like
international plays definitely gaining.
But you have to start an
Just make an
international
league. Yeah,
you have
skip
to.
all that.
That's
man.
the only way to do it. Because if I got to play you in Paris, it's what, a 16-hour flight to Paris?
For sure.
Or it's just maybe or 6 hours.
I'm never playing you in Paris.
It's a
I'm never
6 hour
playing you.
difference, right? That in London, they're like 6 hours ahead.
Like, unless they come up with a beam me up Scotty telepad. I'm never playing you in Paris. Mexico City could be one.
Mexico City is interesting. I think Seattle gets a team back because they're already set for it. Seattle is a huge.
It's
huge
Seattle
market.
and Vegas.
Yeah, Seattle and Vegas. Vegas probably gets it first because
I would mess with Vancouver. Vancouver was lit when they had a basketball team.
But you hear some players, they complain about that custom stuff. Like it sucks
Yeah.
to get in and out of there. And,
yeah.
I would.
It's no different
To
than
me,
playing Toronto, though. It's not like you
same
already
thing.
don't have to do
They
it.
complain
Same thing.
about that
They
too.
don't like going to
I mean, you
Toronto.
can complain about it. You still got to go to Toronto.
But nobody likes it.
Like,
No, I think there was talk. If you did that, like, how would you see the NBA? Like, how would you, does Memphis move to the East, and then you have these two teams? Now you got Seattle back and Vegas in the West. How do you? What's the land? I meant to create. That's what I forgot to do is make a new landscape of what.
Yeah.
I don't know
teams-
what the landscape will look like, but I would tell you this: it's probably the best thing.
you're probably adding two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think at this point,
Now
you're
you go
not
to
adding
32
one.
teams.
I think you're adding two
Yeah,
teams.
you're going to 32 teams.
Yeah.
It's 30
You have
teams
to.
right now.
I would say this: it's the best thing for the league. There are a lot of talented people on the bench on some of these teams. You got to think about it. Some of these super teams or stacked teams. You look at the Boston Celtics; they got bench players that could start. They got people in and out of their lineup that's happened that could be starters elsewhere. You look at teams like the Clippers.
Clippers
Clippers were loaded.
Who's on Clippers?
Nurkic?
Is it Nurkic?
Not no more. He's not on there no more.
not Nurkic. It's another guy that's on there.
Norman Powell on the Clippers.
Not
Dog.
Powell.
Yeah.
Straight
It's,
dog. He's a starter anywhere else. On that team, not so much. But when they played him, he was good. So this is the best thing for him because we're now in the league where these kids are coming out and the way the game is played, which is not my favorite. A lot of one-on-one talent and stuff like that. You want more opportunities for this kid. So I love the idea. It's necessary. I think it has to happen. I think it's best that Seattle gets their team back because it's a legendary
Ivan
franchise.
Zubac, yeah.
I mean, I would go buy a Seattle Supersonics jersey. I love the Supersonics.
Oh, it's great for marketing.
Great for
It's
marketing.
great for marketing.
And Vegas needs a team
But
for sure.
but see, we're talking business. Like to a degree, most of these teams, how many teams are actually competing that are actually relevant to play, to win? This is an experience.
Well, Miami changed everything with 2 years ago.
Well,
That's what it is. When the 8th seed all of a sudden went to the NBA Finals.
With a bunch of
that's
people that
parity.
could have been
That's
in
what the
the
NBA wants is parity. But the point is that either way, you got an NBA team, and even if the stars come into your town, that's an attraction. It's a draw. You have a stadium for business owners that have these 20,000 seat stadiums. Like we're losing money. I get 41 games.
Yeah,
41 games. That's a profit. That
I could see Seattle, like we said, Seattle and Vegas. Vegas for sure. Vegas is in. Vegas is one.
Vegas is good.
I can see Seattle being 2.
Vegas would be like the Cubs.
And
you just go just because it's Vegas.
You move Minnesota out of the West to the East because it makes no sense for them to be there.
Anybody,
You would have to. You got to make it even. It makes no
Anybody
sense that
east of
Minnesota's in the West.
Anybody east of the Mississippi the Memphis is east of the Mississippi, isn't it? Yeah, you got cross. Yeah, anybody east of the Mississippi should be east.
Half of it. Yeah, Memphis could be in the East, but I think Minnesota being in the East, they would do that because Minnesota, Indiana, Chicago, Milwaukee, you already got
kind of a Midwest.
You can rearrange things and make it like a Midwest rivalry.
Yeah, I think you have to change so much about how you draft and who gets those picks though when you do that. Because at this point, to fill out those expansion teams, you're
doing expansion draft.
They get thrown into the expansion drafts means they're going to basically all teams got to
every team got to put
like
up
protected players.
2 players.
No, or maybe it's you protect 8 players or something like that. So only 4 of them are free. They're going and it's 30 players.
That's how you add teams.
You have free agency, and then you're probably going to get put into a lottery.
Because that's how who end up going to Orlando. That was low key a star.
Scott Skiles. Scott Skiles got 30 assists.
He do,
He
but
got the record.
He do. He do.
Oh, you talking about like
But
drafting
Scott
like Shaq
Skiles
and,
wasn't a star.
you talking about like Nick Anderson?
No,
and-
he went.
and
He
Shaq?
went. It might not have been. It might not have been.
He's
He
a
mad at
starting
me.
point guard.
He mad at me for my Caruso take. He gonna say Scott Skiles.
Hall of Fame. Anyway.
Scott Skiles gonna oh no, he ain't in it. But no, that was great.
I love you, bro.
That was great. That was
I love
phenomenal.
you, bro.
No, it was phenomenal. He said Scott Skiles. He said it with confidence too. No,
Oh,
some-
Orlando?
I thought it was Orlando
Oh,
when they
Jesus.
expanded, but maybe it was somebody else. But there was a star that ended up going to the team when they expanded the teams. I thought it was Orlando
All right, so let's just look up Orlando.
A
Magic's
star that
initial
went
roster.
there?
because he didn't end up getting protected in the expansion draft. That's how they're gonna do it, basically.
You know what? You're more versed in that than me. I was just about to ask Joe, and not even on the funny stuff, because you actually saw it twice.
Gucci finesse.
What that looked like.
Yeah, no, but we've seen it in the NHL, right? The Blackhawks had to put players up.
On? Orlando had no.
Who went in the expansion draft to Orlando? We got to look that up. That's the part we got to look up. But maybe it might have been a different team. Like I'm trying to think of the
I
expansion
remember Rick
teams.
Mahorn he went to Minnesota, for example.
Maybe it was Minnesota.
Minnesota. Got
Maybe it
Rick
was Minnesota.
Mahorn. He was
Minnesota
unprotected.
got some star players too.
Yeah. So when you said my Orlando, I'm like, there was nobody really over there because then they got Nick Anderson later, and then they got Shaq, and then Penny. But no,
Last expansion draft, they had one in 88 and 95.
that was the Heat and the Magic, right?
No, that was the Raptors and Vancouver.
89, 90. That was
That
really
was in 95.
Oh, 95. I thought you said 89.
John Sally was selected by Toronto. See, here it is. They went back and forth. BJ Armstrong, Greg Anthony. Those were the first two picks in the expansion draft. Tony Massenberg, Rodney Dent.
Nick Anderson.
Trying to see Reggie Slater.
Yeah, no.
Wasn't really no stars in this one.
No. For Orlando, it was he was projected to be good. Reggie Theus.
Reggie Theus.
Reggie Theus
Really?
was Reggie Theus 89-90.
How old was he? Because he was in
He was
in
20.
Sacramento.
Hold on.
He had to be old
At the
by
year,
then.
he was 11. He was a 10 year.
The one you thinking of in 88 was Charlotte and Miami. That's
Yeah, sure.
Arvid Kramer, Dale Curry, Billy Thompson.
Dell was a decent.
Muggsy
three-point
Bowles went over to Charlotte in that one.
because he was in Washington.
He was in Washington. Scott Hastings went over there. Mike Brown went over there.
Thanks, Joshua. He
Hey,
said
that's
the amount of
crazy.
pride
Reggie
he had in the
Theus.
answers honestly impressive. I'd go hear Joel give a speech. Shout out to you, Joshua Simmons.
Bro, that was hilarious, bro. Who went over to Orlando in the expansion draft? Scott
Scott
Skiles?
It's a funny thing. Scott Skiles is not even on this initial team.
No, he didn't get.
Well, it was a question.
I think he got traded there.
I think, yeah, but I just remember he was only standout for that
It
team
was
until Shaq got
it was
there.
Reggie Theus and Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson was
He
a
was
rookie.
drafted.
He was
Yeah,
drafted. on that team.
Yeah.
right.
But I think that's what you would have happen. So, but it would be, to your point, it would be much more impactful now because of how many young players aren't getting a shot on the teams that they have.
You got to think about how many young talents are on Detroit, how many young talents are on Houston. I mean, Houston at one point had Sengun on the bench, and he a dog.
What's interesting is
He a
I
dog.
was so with like Vegas, supposedly like the mentality would be that you go to Vegas, they have the money.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to Vegas, you can be the guy. And it's not necessarily like you might actually be motivated because you can get the bag over there. And you got all the perks of being in Vegas in general. So it would be interesting to see that it's not just like, oh, they pick somebody, like, it makes me think of somebody
Hey,
like
throw that in now, just so we can not protect Zach LaVine. That'd be phenomenal.
No, but somebody like Marvin Bagley to me is like a true disappointment of
He had this point.
like a top 3 from Duke. Like he just
James Wiseman.
James Wiseman a
James
disappointment.
Wiseman.
They both on the same team.
DeAndre.
They both on the same team.
Well, no, DeAndre.
They're disappointing together.
DeAndre who?
On Portland now.
Ayton.
DeAndre
Ayton's a disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not.
He's coming into his own right now.
No, he's terrible.
He was supposed
but
to be
he's
the next
not.
David Robinson.
He's not a terrible player. But he's nothing like what we.
You know who should be in there? Karl Anthony Towns.
And
No,
what?
he's protected. Ain't nobody.
He shouldn't be.
He's not going to be.
No, they're gonna protect him.
But guys like them that maybe there's a shot, because like you said, there are a lot
said
of
that
young
one.
guys that will have an opportunity,
Who?
but
Carl Anthony Towns is protected.
Yeah, they will protect
From
Craig.
what?
They will
he's
protect Cat.
protected.
Shoot.
Ooh, Jay Greer's good one. Jaleel Okafor is definitely
See, that's injury though. Well, I guess James Wiseman is
Andrew
too.
Wiggins.
But Jaleel Okafor got Chicago needs.
Yeah, they might. Wiggins, if you have a top 8 out of what 12 or is it 12 on the roster? Or 15. They go
15-man roster.
I saw a potential trade that it was a mock, but it actually had some traction that Andrew Wiggins was involved for a trade for Zach LaVine. I'm like, if the Bulls don't pull that trigger,
I wouldn't want Andrew Wiggins.
I would.
I think it's the same kind of. Well,
Yeah, but you're not asking him to be the same
Wiggins
kind of
is a
player.
ceiling guy. Like the problem with Zach is it's just screw loose of like not understanding how to play basketball the right way. I think Wiggins does not take you over the top. I think he's fundamentally sound to a degree, but not that killer instinct
The
of being the
defense
guy.
that he stuck on Jason Tatum in the finals
Because it's easy for him. He doesn't
Good.
have to do nothing else. Just do your little job. You don't have to do any more
he
than
did that.
That's a big
averaging-
job, though.
That's a big
Yeah,
job.
that's
big
good.
job.
Hey,
On top of
number one pick.
on top of like
You're the
being the
number
X factor.
one pick. You're supposed to be a franchise player. You should be able to lock down somebody, but also be the guy that leads us to the promised land. Yes, somebody did your job, so it was easy for you to do that. It's a disappointment to me.
If Patrick Williams turned out to be Andrew Wiggins, AK did the right move.
No, because that's a number 4 pick.
After.
That's another bust.
I get you.
No, because
I'm
there's
just-
stars after.
Andrew Wiggins, what
Tyrese
he-
Halliburton a better player
what
than
he
Andrew
did-
Wiggins.
For sure. I'm just saying, just
Tyrese
consolation-
Maxey a better player than
consolation
Andrew
prize.
Wiggins.
Come on, work with me a little bit. Work with me a little bit.
I'm not consoling no. I'm not consolable no more.
All right, I gotta.
Let's get the best and worst. Best and worst of the weekend, man, where we get to talk about anything, even though that's kind of what we've been doing on this whole show. There's not a lot left in sports right now. We got to talk about everything around sports. I should say Chicago sports. Got to talk about everything around sports because all that's left to talk about in Chicago is baseball, and that's the worst.
Yeah,
I got
I'm done
one.
with that. Go ahead,
Go ahead, Joel. What you got for best and worst?
Scott Skiles.
Scott Skiles.
Bang.
No, my best and worst was my man Tank Davis had knocked out Frank Martin over the weekend.
Boy, Frank. Boy.
He's tough, man.
I'm not
I
gonna
like
lie. It
Tank
wasn't
Davis,
a
man.
bad fight.
Yeah, 8 rounds.
That wasn't a bad fight.
He's
Frank
dangerous,
was
though,
fighting
man.
well, and then it was just like
Them
you
last
ain't
two-
Tank.
Them last 2 rounds.
You ain't Tank.
I think he got tired. He was on the ropes too much.
It
you
looked
know,
like Tank was
I
playing
know
with
Tank
Tank-
was hitting that boy. He didn't get
Dude.
tired. He got tired of getting
He
hit.
rocked, yeah, he rocked.
He got tired. He got tired. Hey, it got to a point where I was like, "Move your face, like talk,
Move your face.
do something."
I ain't gonna lie. Tank looked like he was playing with him for like the good. Because Tank told him, I'm gonna knock him out in the 8th round. Like he has interviews saying I'm gonna knock him out.
He's
in the 8th
tough,
round.
man. I like Tank Davis, man.
Tank
One
is
of
the
my
new
favorite
Floyd
fighters
Mayweather,
right
man.
there.
Hey, bro, all I could think was
He's just throw them hands,
bro, imagine you get knocked out, right?
I know what you about to say.
And you come to,
Listen,
and he doing a backflip midair. And you just looking up thinking that he about to frog splash you right there. Like, it wasn't enough to knock me out. Now, yeah, bro, I mean,
he wrestling?
Dog, I saw that. I said the backflip is nuts. Now don't go out there and pull another wasn't that our what was his name? Tank Johnson? Wasn't that Tank Johnson?
What?
Don't live up to the Tank legacy of tearing your ACL doing something stupid.
No, we looked at that was somebody else. It was another player, but it wasn't him.
I thought it was Tank Johnson.
It was another guy, another Bears player that tore his knee up.
It was down 50.
Yeah,
Nah, Javante won, so that makes a big
Let
difference.
me ask you this: Are you really deep into boxing?
to a degree, yeah.
I mean, clearly, there's no one who can compete with him.
Right now?
at this rate, at
There's no
31,
Right
one
now,
who can
no.
compete with him.
He's the best.
you know
Like-
what's crazy? Like I was looking at Mayweather's like numbers. Like Mayweather has what 26 or 27 knockouts, and then it's like he really. I'm not gonna say he went all the way to 27 knockouts, but he got to a point where he said, "I'm just gonna play the long ball game."
No,
like,
Mayweather got smart.
yeah, he said. "I'm just
Mayweather
gonna
realized fight numbers was declining because Muzz was getting knocked out in the first 5 rounds. And he
Yeah.
was like, oh,
He also broke.
well,
his
I just
hand.
give y'all 12
Yeah.
rounds.
He broke his hand.
right," but he developed his thing is I can outbox you, you
Yeah.
know, and but it's boring. I mean, I like Tank where I'm like, I want to see somebody get knocked out.
See, to me, that's not boring though. Like watching Floyd was like, I don't know, but I'm also like watching Floyd to me was like watching a pitcher pitch 8 strong innings.
Yeah,
Like I love seeing that.
he's
Just
a
like
tactician.
I'm looking at you come up. You've seen, and we don't see it in baseball much no more. But like you've seen every pitch I got. I only got 5. If I'm a great pitcher, I got 5. Most pitchers got 4, right? You've seen every pitch I got,
Yep.
and you're still not gonna hit this ball. Like that to me is so intriguing to see because it's like now it's a mental.
You
game.
like the game within the game.
After
Well, he
5
was
innings in baseball, it's a mental
He
game.
was a
With him,
pugilist. He was boxing, and he understood how to outscore you. And the thing is that you couldn't beat him. I mean,
couldn't
50-0.
you couldn't touch him.
Hey, that
You
Philly
know,
show that he perfected that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unmatched at 50-0. But now the question is,
Mayweather is the LeBron of boxing.
but where do you see Tank going? Does he get to that point? Because you're asking,
How old is Tank?
20? I forgot 20 something.
Because boxing fall off hard.
You can go to Mayweather was dang near.
Mayweather didn't get hit.
Mayweather's
Javante get hit.
Javante's 29.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think
He got another 5 years.
He got another 5.
Yeah, before you kind of fall off the cliff where you're like
another 5.
knocking
I give
cats
him
out.
another 10 bouts before we so at 40. I give him at 40 bouts before we start saying, all right, now it's just.
But he's climbing up the ranks of this is a great right here.
Yeah. He's definitely he's already in that list.
He's already
on the great
time,
list.
like his era. Oh, he's the best.
He's something else.
Not even a question.
I'm impressed. And the funny thing is, I'm impressed by how smart he is, even in how he sets himself up in reading his opponent before the fight. Like if you listen to some of his interviews and stuff like that, he called out exactly where Frank Martin's like weaknesses were, and he didn't fix them.
Yeah.
And that's the funny part. He didn't fix it.
That's what irritates me though, that you only get these guys because what weight is this?
Lightweight.
It's
lightweight.
not welter.
I thought that was
lightweight.
Is this welter?
Lightweight.
This is lightweight.
Yeah.
You only get this at lightweight. That's what irritates me. I used to like Muhammad Ali could kill you, but like he was a tactician. Mike Tyson could kill you, but he was a tactician.
Super welterweight.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I would. It's sad that we only see that at the lightweight division. I think that's why
too much
boxing has died as much.
Too much punishment at the heavyweight.
Well, yeah, you literally
but not
will
if you
have
don't
brain
get hit.
damage and CTE.
don't nobody take that approach at the heavyweight.
When you go heavier in weight, the slower you are,
the more power.
100%.
You're not.
Your fight is not even built off of that. It's built off of being able to take.
Well, they also different now. Now heavyweight fighters are 6'9".
Crazy.
They different.
Well,
but that didn't mean
like
I'm
gonna be honest with you. I've said this, and it's a very, very hard take. But I think it would be tough for Mike Tyson to beat somebody like Tyson Fury.
No.
Yeah, because he's
just because of size and weight.
No.
Well, Mike could get in there and
Mike
100%.
Mike has fought people that of Tyson Fury's stature, and his whole game was
who did Mike fight that was 6'9", 290 pounds?
6'8", wasn't he?
I don't think so.
Lennox Lewis was tall.
Was he? Was he 6'8"? I thought he was 6'5".
Lennox Lewis was tall. Tony Tucker was 6'5". Who else did he fight?
Like he fought 6'5" mugs. 6'8",
Lewis,
6'9" is nuts. You fighting a power forward.
Mike Tyson fought 3 people who were 6'6".
You're fighting a power forward, bro. That's nuts.
But see, there's no limit in heavyweight though.
Yeah, but see,
once you get over 200,
people that were 6'9" wasn't boxing like that back then.
6'7", Drew.
But what I'm saying is like him closing that distance and how he fought. He's crippled a lot of people just off body shots.
He lost.
I agree that he can.
I think 6'9" exposes you more because like the taller you are, the more you have to protect.
If I'm correct, Mike lose to him?
Didn't Mike lose to Lennox Lewis? Though?
I think he did because he was. This was old Mike.
He was older.
This wasn't prime.
Young Mike.
Lennox Lewis is 6'5".
I think he was like 6'8".
Hey,
I'm looking at it right now.
Lennox Lewis is a legendary fighter, though. I mean, like it's not.
Nobody said he's not.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is like I don't think he would have as tough as a time, and especially someone like Tyson Fury, who
I'm not saying Tyson Fury is a great boxer. He got better at boxing.
He's a boxer,
but he gets knocked out. Massive.
Yeah, to me because he's that big.
Hold on. Is he above 300 pounds? Now, it's not to say you can't get knocked out. Anybody can get knocked out.
No, but that's the thing about heavyweight. So you're talking about a lot of power, but the fact that he got knocked against Wilder, he got knocked down a lot. 262. That's still a lot. 6'8", was he 6'8", 262?
6'9", 262. He's LeBron James.
I'm gonna try to watch Game 5. Thanks, Foxhound.
That's nuts. Hey, man.
Amazon? Oh, okay.
We finna catch Game 5. We appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like
real quick.
Oh, what else you got?
Weight classes. So what it is flyweight is 112 pounds. Bantamweight is 118 pounds. Featherweight is 127. Lightweight is 135.
That's where they at.
Welterweight is 147. Middleweight 160. Light heavyweight is 175. And the heavyweight, they say no upper limit. So anything over 170 something is heavyweight.
But technically I'd be a heavyweight, and that ain't happening. So
Wow. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what I didn't even have a worst. We had a best. I didn't have a worst. What was the worst of the weekend?
I'm gonna save mine for tomorrow.
Why? We're not doing best and worst.
I know, but we have to do it just on behalf of Calvin because I want him to tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
He has to tell the story.
Worst of the weekend is Calvin getting hurt by far. Hey, man, y'all stay safe out there in Chicago. Bear down, one love. C-Red, go your trash White Sox and them mugs there.
Hey, Chicago. What do you say?
Hard hockey.
Cubs.
Peace.